Hello, today we're going to talk about non-white involvement in Jamaican slave society. So recently I did a video on slaves in Jamaica. We explored the role of leisure in the slave economy of Jamaica, and people requested more information on Jamaica. So today we're going to talk about Blacks who were prominent during the slave era in Jamaica. Wealth and influence were mainly the purview of the plantocracy in 19th century Jamaica. Yet, despite the racism of slave society, some free non-whites managed to occupy positions of authority in Jamaican slave society. Edward Jordan, John Manderson, and the Price Watkis are three individuals of note. It is interesting that all of these characters made a contribution in the realm of politics. Edward Jordan, the most famous of the trio, was born in Kingston, Jamaica in 1798. After leaving school, Jordan received employment as a store clerk. However, his activism for the civil rights of Blacks eventually caused him to lose his job as a clerk. This loss resulted in an opportunity for Jordan to become a full-time activist and newspaper editor. In 1829, along with Robert Osborne, Jordan established The Watchman. His newspaper, published in Kingston, was critical of the planter class and quoted extensively from British abolitionist literature. In 1832, this newspaper printed an editorial critical of the planter class. Therefore, in response to what was seen as an attack on the authority of the establishment, Jordan was charged for sedition. Though acquitted, he was given a prison term on other trumped-up charges. After release, Jordan continued to advocate for the rights of the disenfranchised. The successful advocacy of the anti-slavery coalition locally and in England resulted in the abolition of slavery in 1834. A year later, Jordan decided to enter politics and was elected as a member of the Assembly for the city of Kingston. Edward Jordan would later go on to distinguish himself in the public and private sectors by serving as the mayor of Kingston and the director of the Planters Bank. In 1860, he was knighted by the Queen of England for his contribution to national development. John Manderson was also an extremely wealthy and powerful free colored of his time. As an influential merchant from Montego Bay, his status impressed the elites. In 1817, Manderson owned 27 slaves, and by 1832, he owned 39. The wealth and conservatism the wealth and conservatism of Manderson endeared him to the ruling class. Though Manderson financed the anti-slavery newspaper, the Struggler, and sympathized with dissenting missionaries, he was more closely affiliated with the white slave-owning minority class. By 1830, the planter was coming under intense scrutiny from the growing anti-slavery movement, and as a result, there was a need to increase local support. Therefore, it is unsurprising that in 1831, the electorate of St. James voted for Manderson to become a member of the Assembly. Unlike other colored citizens at the time, Manderson was far from liberal and had a greater interest in being a part of the ruling class. Notwithstanding his conservatism, he must be remembered for his historic rise as a non-white individual in this era. Interestingly, days before Manderson was elected, Price Watkis became the first non-white person to serve in the House of Assembly. His victory was the result of a pact between coloreds and blacks, whereby the blacks would support Watkis, the first colored to contest an election for a seat in the assembly, and in exchange, the colored promised to vote for a black candidate in the Kingston Common Council elections to be held in 1832. Unlike Manderson, Watkis was a liberal who represented the opinions of the majority of free colored and free black people. He expressed his support of their causes by backing missionaries and abolitionists. In the context of the emancipation crisis of the 1830s, these men are all a reminder of what people can achieve in the presence of discrimination. And for references, you may read William Brown, The Black Man, His Antecedents, His Genius, and His Achievements. William Green, British Slave Emancipation. Christopher Petler, Slaveholders in Jamaica, Colonial Society and Culture during the Era of Abolition. And Sweden Wilmot, From Bondage to Political Office, Blacks Ancestry in two Jamaican parishes, Kingston and St. David. And this was published in a book, Jamaica in Slavery and Freedom, History, Heritage, and Culture. And I'm guessing that you're going to enjoy the video. Bye.